So we're going to begin in our tabletop position, arms underneath the shoulders, knees hip width apart. We're going to inhale as we drop the pelvis down, arching the back, lifting the chest up for cow. Then exhale as we round the back up for cat pose. Inhale in for cow. Exhale out for cat. Inhale in for cow. Exhale out for cat. Inhale in for cow. We're going to tuck the toes. As we exhale, we're going to lift the knees off of the floor and come back into our downward dog position and breathe. We're going to exhale as we bring our knees back to the mat. Bringing the big toes together, knees wide apart, making room for baby belly as we sink back down onto our heels, arms out in front for child's pose. We're going to exhale as we bring ourselves back into our tabletop position, knees back to hip width apart. We're going to take a deep breath in as we drop the pelvis down, lift the chest up for cow. Exhale as we arch the back up for cat. Inhale in for cow. Exhale out for cat. Inhale in for cow. We're going to tuck the toes. Exhale as you lift the knees off of the floor and come back into our downward dog position. You're going to bring energy into your hands and into your left foot. And we're going to extend the right leg towards the ceiling. Lower that right leg back down towards the mat. We're going to exhale as we lower our knees back to the floor. Big toes come together, knees come apart, sinking back down onto our heels, arms back out in the front for child's pose. We're going to come back into our tabletop position. Taking a deep breath in for cow. Exhale out for cat. Deep breath in for cow. Exhale out for cat. Deep breath in for cow. Tuck our toes. As we exhale, we're going to lift the knees off of the floor, coming back into downward dog. We're going to bring energy into our hands and our right foot. Extend the left leg up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to lower the left leg back down towards the mat. Exhale as we lower our knees back to the floor. Big toes together, knees apart. Sinking back down onto our heels for child's pose. breathe. We're coming back into our tabletop position. We're going to extend our right leg back and then our left leg coming into plank. And then bring our right knee across the chest, rested on the floor. We're sinking our hips down towards the mat. Then we're going to lower our body towards the mat for resting pigeon. If you can't lay all the way down, if you don't have room for the belly, you're going to extend like I am. Bringing the left hand towards the left hip and the right hand stays on the floor. We're going to come back up, bringing our chest up towards the sky. If you can, bring your hands to heart center. If you can't, it's okay to place them on the floor for balance. We're going to exhale as we lower ourselves back down. We're going to push up through our hands, extending the right leg back into plank position. Now we're going to bring our left knee across our chest, rested on the floor. We're going to lower our hips down to the floor. And then lower our body down for resting pigeon. Again, if you can't lower all the way down because of the belly, you're going to keep the right hand on the right hip, left hand stays on the floor as you twist your trunk away. Now we're going to bring ourselves back up, chest back towards the ceiling, hands at heart center if you can. If you can, it's okay to keep them by your side. Then we're going to bring our hands back in front of our knee. We're going to push up with our toes as we lift our leg back into plank position and then switch again. Right leg back in front, hips towards the mat, hands at heart center if you can. And then lower ourselves back down towards the floor. Remember, you can turn the trunk if you need to make room for the belly. And then bring ourselves back upright, chest towards the ceiling, hands at heart center if you can, on the floor if you can't. Hands back down in front of the knee as you push up off of the toes, back into plank, and then switch legs again. Chest back towards the ceiling, hands at heart center if you can, on the floor if you can't. And then lower yourself back down into resting pigeon pose, or rotate the trunk if you need to make room for belly. Then we're going to bring our chest back up towards the ceiling, hands at heart center if you can. Hands back in front of the knee, pushing up through the toes as we bring the leg back and come into plank position. Now we're going to lower our knees towards the floor, toes together, knees apart. We're going to sink down into child's pose. And breathe. Allowing the tension to flow out of the body. Now you're going to bring your right hand to the right side of the mat, left hand on top, stretching the left side body. And then left hand to the left side of the mat, right hand on top of the left hand, stretching the right side body.